to be part of the cause. Honorable colleagues.
Yeah, sure.
And storage of blood as what you receive. The auditor noted discrepancies between the and the quantity delivered by Nakasero Blood Bank. And we are looking at the figures here, but most alarming is on item, it is close to 8, where you ordered for 250. Are they supposed to be liters? And you only got 103. There was a discrepancy of 147. When you go to the next page, there is where you asked for 210 liters. They supplied 135, a discrepancy of 75. You ordered for 160. They supplied 160. They supplied 13, and you only received. The difference was 147. So the total of what you ordered was 2,304 liters. You only received 1,238. Get us a percentage, Isma. Get us a percentage of this, whoever can. Honorable Sawung, mathematician, sir. Get us the difference.
Madam Chair, I don't want to look at the variances, but my interest is on the recommendations.
So, no, but it is also, want to know the percentage. Susan, do it. We need to know the percentage. So these discrepancies cause blood stockouts, which could affect the ability of the regional referral hospital to provide adequate health care. So Susan, as you do compute, this percentage of supply, accounting officer, what is the problem?
Yes, as a hospital, we make these requisitions for blood, and we get the blood from Nakasero Blood Bank, and we utilize what but as a regional referral hospital, we don't have the mandate to collect blood.
What reasons do they give for such shortages?
Yeah, the reason is mainly because that even on their side, they don't have enough blood. One, it could be because of also the number of people who are donating blood, because this is a product which is not manufactured from the factory. So it has to come to do with our blood donation culture as people, but then the other, it may be related to resources.
How much do you sell blood at your referral hospital?
No, at blood we don't sell blood. Blood is
honorable members, order please.
Free. It is not charged at all. Actually, in Uganda we don't charge.
In Uganda we don't charge for.
No.
So the people should know that when you go to the regional referral hospital of Entebbe, you get blood free of charge as long as it's needed.
Blood is free in Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital.
And how have you been affected by this shortage in supply of blood? Tell us the consequences to the hospital.
Now what happens is there are also other alternatives, other products, alternatives which are manufactured that can almost equate to blood, and these are the ones that we use.
Which are those alternatives?
No, we have like dextran, iron
in terms of medicine.
In terms of medicine, which we can take, which we can give to patients, and they can actually help the patient build up.
So that means even if Nakasero failed to supply you, or they gave low quantities for you, you can get alternatives.
We can use these other alternatives for those who are not.
Doctor, as you commit yourself, be serious. You ask for blood, you make a request. They don't supply. So you want to tell us that even if it doesn't affect you in any way, you have alternatives. Because let's get serious. We are looking for a solution of shortage of blood in your hospital. Now when you come here and tell us that, even if they don't supply, for me I look for drugs that supplement. Are we being fair? Honorable Sawung?
Madam Chair, I think when lifting blood, there is no way you will go to Nakasero Blood Bank and say, I want my correction as in the regional referral. What this gentleman is saying is correct. Once blood is collected, it goes through other processes at Nakasero Blood Bank. The biggest question would come to Nakasero Blood Bank to explain how much blood they offer to Entebbe. But the problem with these technocrats, they think they must answer each and everything to appease us. That is very funny. Because, Doctor, Mr. Accounting Office, we have been to Entebbe, even if Museveni have got an accident this night and there is no blood with his specialist is using in the State House, you might not be having blood at that particular time at that place because of the low collections and the processes of getting blood out. You have hemophilic children. You know what hemophilia is? Me, I'm not a medic. What do you require out of that? They precipitate and others. But what we would like to say, Madam Chair, is that we as a committee, we want to ask Nakasero Blood Bank what role it plays vis-a-vis the regional referral hospitals to mobilize in the collection of blood. Because there is nobody who research. We Masaka regional referral, we collected 1,000 liters, we want them as we gave them to you. There is nothing like that. I think what I'm saying is what you should be doing. So don't you make the chair ask you funny, tough questions by giving alternatives of other forms of creation of blood in the body, which are not available in your budget, your procurement process in NMS. Could you give him all how many units of that kind of medicine you got from NMS for your hospital? Can you tell us, if we are asking you here to bring your procurement plan from NMS vis-a-vis your budget, how many tabs did you buy for that kind of blood? You don't have them. You don't. You're just shaking your head.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable colleagues. I just want you to take, if they receive less, it's their duty to always notify them that we have received less.
Madam Chair,
truth be told, sometimes there's blood shortage even in the blood bank, and some people cannot even afford, and you cannot just risk to get blood which is not checked, which is not screened, which is not matched for anything. So these people go ahead to request. Yes, they can request, but how about if it is not in the blood bank? I think this query is redundant. We should be forwarding this query to Nakasero Blood Bank, not to Entebbe, because they did their part. They've showed you what they requested for and what they were given. Are they going to fight for this blood?
Yes, Honorable Victoria.
Thank you, Chair. Just in addition to what my colleagues are talking and what the accounting officer is saying, for blood, for us as a Secretarial Committee on Health, Nakasero Blood Bank is the institution that is mandated to do that, or to do with the blood and blood products. So these are recipients, but again with Nakasero, they sometimes get shortages, especially when the youth who do a lot of donations, like in time for school and holiday. So when there's shortages in that time, when most of the school children, university people are on holidays, hard to mobilize them, so they're shortages. But however, they have the mandate and they're given the facilitation to do whatever possibly they can do. And I think they do a fair job from our analysis as a secretarial committee. Just that those shortages are sometimes beyond them also, but they do a good job. So for the accounting officer, I'm sure they get stranded when there isn't blood, but they work, they have a good relationship, and we as the end committee have not got so much to blame the hospitals for not doing that. And so when it comes to accountability, probably, Chair, I think it's Nakasero Blood Bank to answer anything with blood. These are only end user consumers. The requisition, yes, if there's nothing, if they bring, but nobody sells blood, so they can't say we shall get privately for any other reason.
So, honorable colleagues, I want to thank you for. Yes,
yeah,
Honorable.
I think this is a big issue here, not particularly for Entebbe. The big issue is taking Entebbe as an example. Because if you take Entebbe as an example, for all they ordered, they were able to only be given half, if I'm right. When you look at the order of 2,300, the variance is 1,238. So all
That is 60%.
60% not delivered.
Delivered.
60% delivered. 40% not delivered. Taking it as a sample across the country, and this could be entirely a little privileged. The question, when you go to those up-country hospitals,
Honorable members, order.
when you go to those up-country district hospitals, what do you find there? The question is, you may hardly find supply of blood, and this increases the level of traffic of ambulances that want to go wherever there is blood. You'll find an ambulance. I have an ambulance there. Sometimes some of the things, the patients, they deliver to Chirudu, to Entebbe, to Masaka, can be treated, handled in, but because of this shortage of supplies of some of these essential things, then they say transfer. They simply, these doctors, they say transfer to Entebbe, transfer to Kawempe, transfer to Chirudu, transfer to what? And you find an ambulance, mine goes 5 to 6 times a day from Gombe Hospital to one of these hospitals, 5-6 times a day. I monitor it. And it's because of the supplies. Could we pack this query? And Chair, if time allows, have Nakasero Blood Bank appear here to tell us about the whole thing about for the accountability. They don't belong here. I think they are under Kosase, but yes, they are under Kosase, so they can come here for this query and tell us the status of availability as the need arises for blood, because it's about life. Blood inadequacy really can take away your life, if I'm not mistaken.
It takes away.
It takes away your life. So non-availability means you are pushing people towards the grave at any given time. So it's not a query we will just dismiss and say it's about Entebbe. Entebbe has given us a sample of what it is. If time allows, we either write to Nakasero Blood Bank to give us a full account of their annual supply of blood and how much they delivered to all the various units in the country. Let them account, because so many people donate blood and blah blah. Is it enough? Is it adequate? Do they have enough capacity to bank enough blood in the country? Because of course, not all blood in Uganda is transferable, but some of the blood has issues. But we want to look at the whole blood bank situation in a country.
Thank you, Honorable Mwanga, and colleagues. I want to have known what happens to the end user of the service. Blood is very essential and timely. Most of us are mothers. We've gone to deliver. You need blood, and once it's not there, we shall lose lives. So, honorable colleagues, I want to thank Buganda Kingdom. It has moved out to fund, to collect blood. We have donated. It has moved the donation campaign. So even this comes back to us as leaders. If we really realize that there is shortage of blood, what do we do? Because the NGOs have come out, Buganda Kingdom has done it, government to some extent through the Ministry of Health has done.
Chair.
So Busoga Kingdom has also done.
Chair, what you're saying is all right. But truth be told, maybe you get like 200 only, which is still okay.
So that is why.
In which you are saying that the children at school, we are producing these children when they are sick. And there's nowhere to go. So we simply need to appreciate the fact that we have tried always that people are sick, and we cannot distribute blood which is sick. Normally what they do the screening, and if it is found that it is sick, it is banned.
So, honorable colleagues, I want you to take note of this. Please, this is a policy matter, but accountability feeds into other processes. So if we take note of issues of blood, don't say this is a policy, please let us know.
Madam Chair,
so no, honorable.
Madam Chair, I'm seeking for guidance as my chair. When we go for accountability, I agree with you. But once we disappear in policy, we see why the honorable member was calling this a redundant issue on these people. Because
let's not discuss that, with due respect. Let's not go into that discussion.
Honorable colleagues, that we need an in-house.
Honorable Chair, I'm requesting you to restrain. Honorable colleagues, as we do serve Parliament, each system, even at times we used to ask these other sectoral committees to attend some of these accountability committees, so that they can know that if it does not bring it out, how will they know that we have such challenges? So I kindly request you to restrain ourselves from taking such, unnecessary arguments. Say to Honorable Basariwa.
Chair, it is really, line is too thin to discern. So I want to propose, Chair, that where in the process of our discussion, policy issues arise, it does no harm for us to make mention of them but not losing focus
True.
of the fact that we are an accountability committee. We should just not lose focus. But to say we should not take cognizance of the policy issues, I think would really be unfair. So, Chair, I want to beseech my colleagues that once in a while we will find ourselves delving into policy matters. We are not the sectoral committee, but sometimes it's unavoidable. And when it happens, let's take it in good faith. Chair, my name is Vasari Rasman. I come from Bujiri. I hadn't introduced myself. I thank you,
So,
Chair.
Chair, just one from me, Chair, please. So, in that case, Chair, when we're meeting,
Ugandan was put in an effort to ensure that we do mobilize our colleagues to donate blood. And I encourage you colleagues, I don't know how many of you have donated, but I also encourage you colleagues, please do donate blood. Whether it will not be, Honorable Amero, you should not judge. Your blood is needed. You give it there so that they can know whether it is good or bad blood. So, honorable colleagues, query number 2 is presence of cold chain and inadequate transportation storage for blood. So, accounting office.
All right, for this, as a facility, what we have done, we have procured cool boxes, and these are the boxes where we keep the blood, and mainly this is what we have done. And then also we have increased the capacity of our fridge. We acquired a new fridge, which is where we keep this blood. But the major issue was, as highlighted in the audit, it was mainly about transportation, and for this we have the
So we are now
cool
safe.
boxes.
But
Yes,
there is
and
a
the
question.
photos are attached.
Let him
Annex.
first finish.
And the evidence for the whatever are attached on annex number 4, the photos of the cool boxes which were bought.
The bad thing is they are in black and white. You cannot. Yes, Honorable Song, as we
You
look
see,
for
can you tell us
the
how
pro-
much does each of these cost? Could you help us, through the Chair?
Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital is one of the, actually it may be the least funded hospital.
No, you are not answering my questions, Madam Chair. I'm
Honorable
asking
Susan,
you,
order.
how much does that facility cost? Because they said you had only one, and now you said you have bought. How much does it cost?
1.6. It depends on really on the range, the size of the cool box that you are buying.
Okay,
But
you see,
it is
Mr. Accounting Officer,
1.6
you are
million.
taking long on a simple question. How much does that cooling facility cost? Or how much did you buy the ones you have now?
1.6
million.
1.6 million.
Now, why could you fail with all your meager resources, fail to buy such, and it became an audit query? The weakness goes on you. 1.6 million to buy 2 coolers. Patients, let me say, Madam Chair, who need this blood. But you have a container, I'm imagining, as the auditors say, you have one which is bringing at least 20 per box. So meaning the blood you get from Nakasero Blood Bank, as per the ratio given here, ends up being spoiled because of your weakness in budgeting and preparing for the patients. Because we cannot tell us as a committee that you will jubilate over you are having them now, but you never had them at the right time, yet patients needed blood in quantities. That's a weakness you must correct. So don't think that this committee will be pleased by telling us that now they are in place. What happened at that time when you needed them? People might have died, blood might have been wasted, which is not easily corrected from the public. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying. Good, you are shaking your head. Thank you.
Accounting officer, we do appreciate 5 billion, 5.6 around there to 6 billion. We do appreciate that it was slightly less. But one wonders, why were you upgraded to that status when government could not afford? You know, by that time we asked, because Entebbe was equivalent to a health center 3 in Matete. Matete is Sembabule, and you know what Sembabule means, a rural area. But we have something called a regional referral hospital of Entebbe, where somebody is referred from those 5 districts that we talked about, from Mpigi, Wachiso, from Butambala, is transferred to Regional Referral Hospital of Entebbe on assumption that there are better services than where you have come from. Then they bring you to an area that even has lower services than where you have come from.
And Madam Chair,
You see?
why I'm serious on this, 3 million procuring such containers is not a requirement to go to the PPDA for.
How would you fail to utilize upwards of 2.4 billion? And then the problem was recruitment, and you failed to utilize that money. Now they pushed you to 18. Are we not going to see the same scenarios that, yes, the well-wishers wishes you well, but you have no capacity to utilize the money?
We had responded to that. That money was for salaries. They had a ban on recruitment, and that's why they could not utilize the 2.4 is relevant. Will you be able to utilize that bigger budget of 18 billion with your staffing capacity of 23%, inclusive of what you intend to recruit in the financial year 25-26?
Yes, we shall be able to utilize the money, because for some of the issues we want to handle are related to maintenance, to civil maintenance, property management, and for this we already have the staff who are in charge of the workshop, and they can follow up on this. So the money, the additional money we got was more in that line.
You will have
We
to
shall
give us
be
a
able
list of the staff that you have and the critical staff that you are missing, because we might be talking about 21% when the biggest percentage are none, the none and the critical positions are not filled. So you'll give us a list of the staff that you have and the details of those that are not filled, so that we can know the critical, the impact. Because you might have most of them under none, the non-medics, and we end up being underserved in that area. So Honorable Kabusu.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair.
I've shown an appendix 3. Go to appendix 3 so that you can see those equipments. Lack of these equipments affects the ability of the health facility to offer the much needed health services. The accounting officer attributed this to the inadequate retooling. We shall get there, to the inadequate funding. But the auditor is saying you don't have equipment that is basic. And take us to the list, that annex 3 that they are talking about, for us to see the list of equipment that you don't have.
May
Yes,
I
Honorable.
suggest, if it pleases you,
Yes, Honorable.
that when we are looking at, because we need to kill time,
We invite those teams that he has spoken and let these people present their plight and these queries before them, so that they can hear for themselves what we are going to say. Because for us now to be discussing these issues, and then after a few days we are going to call the other teams and we are going to go through the same issues, Madam Chair, I think we will be wasting a lot of time. Can we just, I request that we look through these documents and we continue with other institutions, and as you plan to call those people who are supposed to be here, those who certified this as a referral hospital, and then they come and tell us why they did it without, first of all, equipping this place. I beg to submit, Madam Chair.
Honorable, yes, Honorable Asumani. Honorable Algon, the only opportunity you'll have is to introduce.
To Honorable Nsamba, Honorable Amero, and Honorable Sewungu. Chair, in light of that discussion and in light of this query, I beg to move that you be pleased to send these people away, to dismiss these people, pending a meeting with the line minister before this committee, with the objective of interacting with us to explain the criteria they used to baptize Entebbe as a regional referral hospital without the basics. I beg to move, Chairperson.
Who is
Madam Chair,
seconding the motion?
it's not seconded. Madam Chair, there's a minority report.
Honorable Nsamba Patrick, Honorable Susan Mugabi. So the majority, honorable colleagues.
Minority submission.
Minority submission, write your report. Write your report of the minority, it will be considered.
This is minority without notice.
Minority without
Madam Chair.
notice. Your motion with, let me first rule on this one. The Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital is a regional referral hospital in charge of serving Ugandans. All of us need services from that referral hospital. And during the introductory remarks of the accounting officer, I ably told you that this is a regional referral hospital that serves Wachiso, Kampala, Mpigi, and Gomba. He ably told you that he serves a population of 4.3 million. Also, Kalangala supported the motion. And he explained that is a facility that serves the South Central region of this country. Honorable colleagues, we have a very competent technical team, but it is very underutilized, incapacitated, out of failure to be given equipment that requires them to duly serve the people of this republic. We need to help this team not to look to be redundant, because you know what it takes to train a doctor. So you have a doctor in hospital and you give him a knife to cut women. So we shall not allow that kind of, we cannot allow these ones to be degraded to that level. Honorable colleagues, Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital is in ICU itself. It is in intensive care. And as this honorable committee, we cannot be party to allowing some of these of our colleagues to be a danger to the society. In the interest of improving service delivery to this country and in line to the constitution of this republic and the responsibility of the state in provision of basic health care services to this population of 45 million, I'm concluding. I do conclude that we are going to invite the Minister for Health, the Permanent Secretary for Health, the Minister for Finance to appear before this committee with this very team from Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital. Our interest is to help Ugandans to be served better by this regional referral hospital. So, and our colleagues have been talking about the budget that has been enhanced. You normally know, you enhance a budget, but even fulfilling whatever the budget is also another requirement. So we are here to serve the country better. Director and your entire team as a committee, we thank you for duly serving this country. But we want to equip you better. So I therefore send you back to Entebbe. We are going to invite you some other time with these of your leaders to appear before the committee. It is not you to invite them. For you will just come here to appear with your leaders in presence so that you can serve the country better. Meeting is suspended for the next engagement. Yes, Honorable Mwanga.
Olunaku lwaleero ng'akakiiko akalondola enkozesa ya ssente y'omuwoomusolo mu Uganda gye bayita Public Accounts Committee Central tusazeewo okuzzaayo abakulu abavudde mu Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital. Eddwaliro lino mulijjukira nti omwaka oguwedde ogw'ebyensimbi 2022-2023 baali tebalina wadde ekitanda abakyala kwe bazaalira era nga ne bajeti yaabwe yali wansi nnyo ku bilioni 5. Era ne twebuuza nti lino eddwaliro lye baasuumuusa okujja ku mutendera gwa Entebbe Grade B ne lifuuka Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital nga terisobola wadde okulongoosa omukazi n'akasonga azaala. Lwaki balisuumuusa nga abakyala bazaalira ku ttaka, abakyala bebaka mu korido nga tebalina wadde akatanda, abakyala bazaalira ku butandaalo. Era ebitongole ebyenjawulo ne bigenda ne bidonatinga ebitanda kati ebiwera 7 abakyala kwe bazaalira. Olwaleero ekitongole kye kimu kikomyewo ng'ate kati kiri mu intensive care kirwadde nnyo n'okusinga bwe kyali luli. Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital ekisooka terina bakozi eri staff ku bitundu 21 ku 100. Ekyokubiri, Entebbe terina sitoowa weetereka ddagala. Eddagala balitereka mu nkuubo, balitereka wansi wa bitanda by'abalwadde, tebalinawo batereka ddagala. Ekitegeeza nti abalwadde baffe kijja kubakosa mu maaso gye bujja. Entebbe ng'eddwaliro ebikozesebwa ebisookerwako ebyuma zi x-ray, obuuma okukebera abakyala, zi BP machines, ebyo ebisookerwako ebyuma kumpi 200 tebalina kye balinako wadde. N'ebye balina bikadde nnyo nti tebakyasobola kubiddaabiriza. Kakati oli bw'atunuulira eddwaliro ne bali batiza erinnya nti Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital. Ekyamazima eno yali badde Entebbe yali badde eyitibwa health center siringa eddwaliro ly'e Matete wange gyenva kubanga ebisaanyizo ebirimu teririsobozesa kubanga lisavinga abantu ku mutendera gwa regional referral hospital. Lino eddwaliro lisavinga abantu okuva ewa Kiso, Mpigi, Entebbe yennyini okuva ku Bizinga kumpi districts nga 6 ne Butambala. Kati ng'omuntu ava e Butambala eggombe nga bamugamba nti obulwadde butulemeredde tukwongeddeyo genda ku Entebbe regional referral hospital nga gyagenze ng'ate wabi nnyo tewalina bisaanyizo n'okusinga gyavudde. Kaakati ffe okugema bannayuganda obutafuna kusoomozebwa kuno n'okufiira mu malwaliro mukirabye bulungi nti ne blood bank webatereka eddagala gundi bu box mubatereka omusaayi tebalina webatereka musaayi newankubadde nago bafuna mutono tebalina abakozi basobola cooperatinga byuma bino. Kati ebizibu by'Entebbe ekyamazima nga naletandise bitotola kiyinza okuntwalira wiiki nnamba nga babulira ebizibu ebiri Entebbe. So okugema bino byonna n'okuttira bannayuganda mu ddwaliro eryo ne bannayuganda batimba bbula nti waliyo eddwaliro bayita regional referral naye nga baliteekako kipande ng'ebiri munda tebifaanagana na kipande. Tubasabye baddeyo baleete bagenda kudda ne Minister wa Health. Minister wa Health the Honorable Jane Ruth Acheng. Bagenda kukomawo ne Permanent Secretary Diana Atwine omukyala. Bagenda kukomawo ne Minister Kasaija owa Finance atugamba nti economy ekula buli lunaku. Bagenda kukomawo ne mukulu Gobi PS wa Finance. Nga kye twagala tutuule mu kafubo tuyambye tutya sekita y'ebyobulamu kubanga Entebbe ekoze bukozi nga example naye n'abalala balimpinga bali eyo eddagala mu malwaliro tewali. So bino byonna twagala tutuule tugonjola ebizibu bino okutaasa bannayuganda obutafiira mu malwaliro gano nga bamanyi nti bagenze kujjanjabibwa kumbe bagenze kufa. So bino byonna bigenda kukolebwa in the interest okulaba ng'eggwanga lino liweerezebwa. Gavumenti otuwa obujjanjabi tetuyamba buyambi tewali gwe bayamba wabula bakola obuvunaanyizibwa bwabwe obw'abassemateeka okuwa bannayuganda obujjanjabi obusookerwako okulaba nga tukuuma ebyobulamu mu ggwanga.
Njagala bannayuganda batunuulire zino regional referral hospitals ezisinga obungi zaateekebwawo with funding from World Bank naye agreement yaliwo botunuliranga Mityana Mubende Regional Referral Hospital Nakaseke n'ebirala. Establishments nono establishment yateekebwawo World Bank initiative ya YouGift. Era government ng'ekoze agreement nti egenda kuteekamu ssente kamu abasawo kuteekamu equipment. Unfortunately tebakola ng'ekyo kye bapromisinga. Bwe tulaba ekiri Entebbe Regional Referral Hospital kyekiri e Mubende kyekiri e Mityana Regional Referral Hospital kyekiri wonna ne bw'ogenda wano e Mulago era ne Mulago services ezisinga obungi za ku outsourcinga National Referral Hospital ne bw'oba oyagala services eziri basic bakugamba genda wano zigenda bweru kyokka gavumenti yemwe kugamba tewali sente zikole ebyo ekwata bilioni 720 n'ebiwa Biopharma bilioni 720 n'ebiwa Biopharma nga Mubende Regional Referral Hospital bagiwadde 3 Mityana Regional Referral Hospital bagiwadde 2 muzizo Entebbe Regional Referral bagiwadde 11 nga bw'ogattagatta sente ziweebwa Regional Referral Hospitals tezigenda na kitundu kya sente ziweereddwa muntu omu Biopharma atalina na kintu kyasobola teeka ku mmeeza kiraga nti sente zino zikoleseddwa bweziti ne bweziti. So that is the unfairness gye tulina mu nsi muno nti priorities z'abatukulembera zaawukana ne priorities z'abasasula omusolo. Abasasula omusolo baagala services, abatukulembera bali mu bizinensi. Kakati tasobola kuteeka ssente waatafuna kubanga bo bali mu byanfuna. Kati wano mu Entebbe Regional Referral tebajja teekawo bajja kwetaaga ziteeka mu private institution zaabwe. Bwe bagenda nga bafuna ssente wali nga bagenda bazimbaga private hospitals. Kati wano it is more reliable genda Nakasero okusinga okugenda e Mulago. It is more reliable genda ku private hospital okusinga okugenda mu government hospital. Mu ggwanga lino nga bwe kiri mu masomero nti kati it is more fashion and more reliable ogenda mu private school okusinga ogenda mu government school. That is the unfortunate bit fallinga eri eggwanga lino. Kati bino byonna bye tulabira wabadde waliwo agamba tubaggalewo ngambye leka ggwe waakiri bagenda ne bafunayo bupanado kubanga ekyo kye basobola okukola ki okufuna naye nga under normal circumstances twalibadde ne regional referral hospital egwanidde okuyitibwa regional referral hospital si ebizimbe ebyazimbibwa World Bank.